How's it going, everyone? It is Prashan here. I have another Marvel Snap deck highlight here, and I brought a friend with me, IKA. So, do you want to go ahead and intro yourself? That way, everyone knows who you are.
Yeah, hello everyone. My name is Zika. I play Marvel Snap. I love Marvel Snap. I stream. I post decks on Twitter and or X all the time. And yeah, I'm so happy to be here talking about this deck.
Yeah, that's this deck has been pretty awesome lately. I saw Robitussin playing it the other night. I think I've been playing it too. I'm glad you got on such short notice. That's awesome. So we're gonna go card by card. You're gonna explain like the deck for me, and then we'll play some games, and then hopefully we get some dubs with it. So we'll start off with Sunspot.
Yeah, Sunspot, it's just your one of the best one drops in the game. It's a good scaling card. If this deck runs Professor X. If you Professor X a Sunspot very early on, you're guaranteed to sort of be able to put power into that lane afterwards by floating some energy. So it's just a really good basic one drop.
Gotcha. And then next we have Nebula.
Kind of similarly to Sunspot, it's just your scaling one drop. It especially good in this deck because it forces play patterns from your opponent. They don't want to buff your Nebula, right? So they will just play into that lane, and you have specific cards here that utilizes that aspect of the game, right?
Yeah, I'm starting to notice Nebula's been used for some control aspect to the game recently in a lot of decks lately. And then next we have Echo.
Yeah, Echo is the most flexible card in this deck, I would say. You can place Nico in this spot. You could use Spider Ham if you'd like. I have Echo in here for a specific reason, though. It's your one card that can completely shut down very specific decks. You got Living Tribunal, that's a heavy combo ongoing deck. You place Echo in a lane, now you know exactly where they're going to play, and you can utilize some of these other cards much better. So I would highly suggest to keep Echo in this deck.
Right.
For
And
sure.
then next we have one of the MVPs of this deck,
Yeah,
Pixie.
this is the star of the deck. Obviously, this gives you the pop off moments. This gives you the amazing situations where you can like Professor X on turn 3 or something like that. So obviously, this deck just doesn't work without Pixie. It is a Pixie deck. So yeah.
Yeah, it's good to see when you have like a one drop Red Hulk on the final
Yeah.
turn and it just surprises the opponent.
Yeah, exactly.
Then next we have Jeff.
What can you say about Jeff? It is such a flexible card. You can use it to put in Professor X lanes. You can access locked down lanes. You could move it to make something like Miss Marvel work when in the situations where you can't. It's just probably the best two drop in the game, I would say. So it's just such a good card.
Yeah, for sure. And then he was in the spotlights, or still currently in the spotlights as of this video. Probably once it comes out, he'll be gone. But yeah, this week was the perfect opportunity to get Jeff if you didn't have Jeff already. Next, we have Negasonic.
Yeah, Negasonic. This is like probably the second most replaceable card, but I would not replace this card at all. This card is such a cube stealer. It is what Eliath used to do. Basically, it's just a replacement of Eliath, where in the final turns, a lot of the time you might have priority, and Cannonball in this deck specifically doesn't want to have priority all the time. So if you have priority, you just slap Negasonic, and whatever they play is dead. It's also really good. You can because you have Nebula, you can guess where they're going to play their next card. Usually, Negasonic works well. In an Angela, a Hope meta, it also you kind of can guess where they're going to play their next cards, and you can also use Negasonic in that way. It's just such a good card and just deadly.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely saved some games for me. And then next, we have Mobius and Mobius.
This is like a two-way tech card. It helps you to be able to, utilize Pixie at its best possible way, right? If you draw a 6 cost Jeff and you still want to use Jeff, well, Mobius makes it go back down to 2 costs, so you can still utilize it. But it also, remember, a lot of decks depend on discounts, right? Destroy needs their death to be 0 cost. You got tons of Ravona decks, tons of Mr. Negative decks, and you slap Mobius down, it shuts down all of that stuff.
Right. And then next, we have Miss Marvel here.
People stopped playing Miss Marvel for some reason, and I don't understand why. It's such an incredible card. No one is expecting Miss Marvel anymore. You slap that down on like the last turn. Obviously, it's great on curve as well. You play it on turn 4, but if you even place it on like last turn and you fill up these locked down lanes or something like that, they're completely in awe sometimes. Your opponents, they're like, "Oh, Miss Marvel, I didn't even think about that." It's an incredible, incredible card and a good synergy with Echo actually, because if you place Miss Marvel like in the middle and you place Echo with it, you're not afraid of Rogue as much anymore, because if they Rogue your Miss Marvel, they don't get to use the Miss
The
Marvel
effect,
anymore.
yeah,
You just neutralize it right then and there. You lose your Miss Marvel, but at least you're not giving them a free Miss Marvel, right?
right. And then next we have Professor X.
Professor X is like another key card here. Nothing feels better than getting that like one cost Professor X on turn 3, locking down a lane, and you're like, well, okay, now I just worry about these 2 lanes, and that's it. It's and this deck, you have tons of tools to sneak a lot of power into Professor X lanes. If you Professor X on turn 5 and you're like, oh no, they play something there as well, you got Jeff, you got Miss Marvel to get into those lanes. And obviously, it's got great synergy with Cannonball, which is the next card.
Right. And then speaking of Cannonball, there he
Yeah.
is.
Super underrated card. I was kind of down on it. I know a lot of people right now don't have Cannonball because a lot of people skipped on it, because a lot of people were like, this card is probably bad. I was one of those people. I dished out the 6K tokens like 2 weeks ago. It's really good. It's a very, very good card. You have one lane locked down. You are winning that lane. Cannonball is like 80% of the time it's just a guaranteed win on the last turn.
Yeah, I think especially with Professor X, it definitely helps out Cannonball a lot. I think when you have two of the other lanes open, there's some uncertainty.
Yeah,
But when you have one locked down, then the odds are more in your favor, definitely.
100%.
And then next we have She-Hulk.
Yeah, She-Hulk is I think works. She-Hulk is one of those cards that work really well with Pixie, because if you get a discounted She-Hulk at even like a 5 cost, if you float completely, like if you skip turn 5, you get it as a 0 cost, right? So it's one of those cards where no matter how much Pixie discounts, you can still control it to get it down to a 0, which can be really good to like play it with Professor X on turn 5, for example, right? If you can get it to a 3 cost, you skip, and then all of a sudden you can play on 5 with Professor X, you guaranteed to win that lane. Obviously sneaks in tons of goose lanes or whatever locations are, which need like lower power cards. She-Hulk's a super flexible card and super, super good in this deck.
Nice. And then finally we have Red Hulk, one of the newer cards in Marvel Snap.
I mean, what can you say about Red Hulk? It is the best 6-drop at the moment. It's also so good in the Pixie deck, because psychologically, if you get it like a 1 cost and they float some energy and they see the animation where it gives them the 4 power, and they see this 1 cost Red Hulk get like 15 power, they're they're hitting that retreat button, right? Because what are they gonna do? You're just gonna be placing this at any time, anywhere, and it's a massive, massive power.
Right. Like I was saying before, like he's probably replaced Infinite. Like any deck
Yeah.
you have Infinite, you just put in Red Hulk, and it works.
Yeah.
So I think he's gonna get nerfed soon.
Yeah, I would guess on that too. Yeah.
So we just went over the deck, and then we talked about some replacement cards. So let's play some games, and then you'll just guide me through it. Your thought process. We'll go turn by turn, and then hopefully we can get some dubs. So let's go
do
into
it.
the games. So we have Negasonic, Professor X, She-Hulk, and Echo.
Okay. Yeah, you could probably just play Echo. Sometimes I save Echo if I have a vibe or feeling that they might place a lot of ongoings, then I want to keep it. But might as well play it. You got Lake Hellas, so that's always good for Echo to just get an extra power.
All right. They play Korg. So
Okay.
I'm guessing
where they
Darkhawk
won't play
here.
Darkhawk, yeah. Oh gosh.
Interesting.
All right. So you're playing a sort of a dice roll. This is where you definitely play Professor X. This is your best chance to play Professor X for sure.
Okay.
You also have priority, which is interesting. Yeah, I think Professor X, the right lane, is probably the safest choice. There's the least amount of chance that they play something in the right lane. But you never know. Oh, there you go.
Got it.
Oof, Black Widow.
Yeah, so this is definitely a Rocks and Hawks.
For sure, for sure. But unless they're playing Jeff, there's a good chance that you just won the right lane, and you're playing a 2-lane game, which can be pretty good for you. You know, at least one lane, they're not going to be able to play their big Darkhawk, right? So if you start focusing on the left lane, you can sort of start pumping some power there and play Negasonic there out, maybe.
All right, we'll do that.
Discourage them from putting some power down there.
They hit She-Hulk.
So good thing is that She-Hulk stays at 4 cost, yeah.
We have Cannonball.
And you got Cannonball. Okay, yeah, this is like a snap condition for for sure.
Definitely a snap. And they retreat.
And they retreat, yeah. This is a very good hand. See, this is why I like this deck, because even in games where you don't draw a Pixie, you're still very much in the game, right? You can still lock down a lane and then just focus on one other lane. And you can see where Echo comes in handy here, because you know they're not going to be placing big power there. And you can just
and they wouldn't be able to play the Mystique. They wouldn't be able to do the Darkhawk and the Mystique.
Exactly.
Like, I typically get like Infinite day 1 and then go to Conquest. Yeah. So we have Echo, She-Hulk, Negasonic, and Pixie.
Yeah, so this is great. Are
we saving the Echo?
Yeah, I think we'll hold off on Echo. No reason to play it when you have a guaranteed turn 2 anyways.
Let's see what they play. If they play anything.
And they're thinking a lot. Maybe they got their own Echo they're deciding to play.
Ooh, Ebony Maw.
Ooh, interesting. Now that's kind of good for you because of Negasonic. You know there's a very specific lane that they cannot play unless they play War Machine, right? So your Negasonic all of a sudden becomes much better card. Obviously, we want to play Pixie.
All right. Where do you want to put her?
Left lane's fine. Not to clog up your hand just yet.
Play Angela. So we know where they're going to play.
Yeah, that looks like a very specific lane that they're trying to pump. Ooh. Since you don't have priority right now, maybe just better to play Jeff on the right and play Echo mid.
Alright, we'll do that.
And then there's still room to play. Okay, so it looks like a move hybrid sort of deck. Okay,
alright, that did
took
absolutely
Pixie for
nothing.
A ride.
Yeah.
Okay, so this looks like doesn't give you priority just yet, but
nice. We got Cannonball as well.
Part of me wants to say Cannonball on the right, move Maw somewhere else, kind of mess up their plans, but you're probably just better off playing Negasonic just on the left lane. Discourage them from playing their big 5 drop there.
And they play Jeff?
Looks like they play Jeff, yeah.
Ooh, we got a 1 Red Hulk.
1 Red Hulk. That is very, very good. Ooh. Yeah, funny enough, if you had Sunspot down right now, like this is what I'm thinking. If you had Sunspot down, I would definitely skip here because then you would have been able to play She-Hulk, Red Hulk, Cannonball, all on turn 6 while pumping Sunspot. But since we don't have Sunspot, you probably still want to play some power out.
Do we be risky and play Cannonball into the Ebony Maw lane?
Well, you could probably try to do that, yeah. I think that's probably the safest, yeah.
And then hold off on Red Hulk?
Yeah, hold off on the Red Hulk. They might see that you have this 1-cost Red Hulk if they float a little bit of power. It looks like they play War Machine.
So we knew the War Machine was coming.
Yeah.
But we do have Negasonic in that Karmatage lane.
Yeah, so if they want to guarantee to win the left lane, they can't. They can't play their Infinite. They can move Jeff into there, so that's something to watch out for. But, oh boy, this is kind of tricky, actually. I'm guessing Infinite is their big play. They're winning 2 lanes, so they probably just want to try to play Infinite. If I was a betting man, I would say they move Jeff left, and then they play Infinite right.
Okay.
So if we play according to that, You could probably play Red Hulk left and She-Hulk middle.
And are we moving Jeff this time?
So if they move Jeff on the left lane, that's 20 power, and you have 50. So you could probably move Jeff. Yeah, you could probably move Jeff middle.
Let's go Jeff mid.
And let's see.
Hopefully moving Jeff works.
Okay, so they didn't even move Jeff, which is great for you because you just
Perfect.
You completely roll them here.
Yeah, so you read that pretty perfectly with the Infinite.
Yeah.
Perfect.
See, this is where Cannonball on 5 was a very good idea because they were planning to play into the Maw lane, but moving the Maw messed up their plans, and it was easy to predict their play in that sense.
Right, and then the Negasonic 2 that deferred them to even more, like nothing they can do there. So we have Miss Marvel, Jeff, Echo, Negasonic. So do we skip here?
This is probably, I would actually play Echo out. You could probably risk it here because you don't have the Pixie to play on turn 2, so you probably just want to start playing power to get priority.
Okay, so where do you want to put her?
Just go middle, safest because of Miss Marvel, just in case, I guess.
All right. Ooh, Iceman.
Okay.
Claw.
Ooh. Okay. So it looks like it's an ongoing deck.
Oh,
At least
man. That hurts.
That's bad. Okay, maybe you should have saved the Echo.
That hurts.
Yeah. So I'll just play Jeff left, I guess. This is a situation where if they snap, I would retreat. Their Sakaar trade was also pretty favorable to them.
Oh, yeah.
But they haven't snapped yet, so we'll see what they got.
Okay, so this is definitely an ongoing deck.
Yeah, it looks like Spectrum is their big turn 6 play. You can plan for that. Probably Negasonic on the right. I mean, we've lost the middle, I think.
Yeah.
Like, it's not dead, right? You could still
Not
play...
yet.
Yeah, you could
Because
still play
we
some
might
power
be
in
able
there.
to snipe Mojo with a Professor X Jeff move.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
We'll
they
go
played
armor left.
armor in the wrong spot.
Interesting. Interesting.
So I'm pretty sure they might have a destroyer or something, right?
I'd be surprised, actually, if they do. Interesting. Oof. Not a great Pixie value, but you got kind of nothing else to play, so I guess you just might as well play it on the right lane. Get extra body on the Mojo World.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it looks like middle is gone.
So we got a 1 Red Hulk. So do we Professor X Mojo and try to steal Mojo?
I think you could probably risk it. I don't think they're going to be able to play 4 cards, and you can move Jeff, and then you can play Red Hulk.
And She-Hulk on the final turn. Or no, just Red Hulk.
You can't play She-Hulk, but you never know. You might get Cannonball top deck, and that's great. Cannonball Red Hulk would win you the left lane if we are securing this. Okay.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, great. So you won the right. You don't even have to move the Jeff. Okay, looks like it's just Mobius. Well, you know they can't play anything else left, but if they Spectrum, they get 6 more power, right? Now 6 more power, that's 21. You're playing Red Hulk. You're playing for
But
22.
Namor loses that 5.
Yeah. So you could theoretically challenge either lane. I would go safer choice. Actually, yeah, I would go safer choice probably on the left lane because you know you guaranteed they won't play anything there, and this kind of looks like a win to me unless I'm getting hit by something surprising here.
See what happens here. Yo, Spectrum.
Yeah. Spectrum as expected, and you definitely beat that.
Let's go.
Excellent.
And they had a Red Hulk.
Red Hulk?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So this game looked like it was lost in the beginning, but it slowly went in our favor.
This is why you always stick around in the game, obviously, unless they snap and you're losing early on. And it worked out in our favor. We didn't even need Echo, and this would have absolutely crushed. If we kept Echo, it would have crushed even more.
Oh, yeah, for sure. This would have been the perfect time to play Echo, since they're playing nothing but ongoing. But,
exactly.
Yeah, they got lucky with Murder World.
We also got lucky with Pixie getting that one
Oh
cost Red
yeah,
Hulk, and this is where the Pixie's power comes in. You get that one cost Red Hulk, it you feel unstoppable. Right?
yeah. I think the odds were definitely in our favor because I think when we played Pixie, Sunspot and Nebula are still in our in our deck,
Mm-hmm.
and then Cannonball's in the deck too. So I think Cannonball might have been a one drop too
It
if
could,
we're
yeah,
able to get
absolutely.
him.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, awesome game. And that is it for this video. You guys got to see us win some games, some crazy games. Is there anything you want to say to the people, Ika, before we take off?
Thank you for having me. I love your videos. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to talk about this deck. You
Oh,
can
of
check me
course.
out on Twitter and X, Ikas_show, and I stream sometimes as well on Ika_MTS. Thank you
Yeah,
so much.
for sure. All of Inca's info is going to be down in the description. Make sure you guys give him a follow. So, till next time, guys, be safe, keep on snapping, and peace.